Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you? I'm here today to bring you this fun video. We are going to be making this adorable card. It is called, in my opinion, the Kind Heart Owl card, because I just think it's so cute and I love that saying, I love your kind heart. And inside it says, sure do love you. So we have this really cool embossing folder that I'm going to be using. So I have my big machine out to show you how to use that. And of course, this whole week we've been using the adorable owls. I'm pairing it with this pretty cool punch. If you guys don't know anything about this, it is the Very Best Trio punch, and it was in the last mini catalog, and it did carry over. So yay, we get to use it some more. One Happy Family is the sentiments that I have used for the inside. Both of them are from there. And you guys know that I have been obsessed with Give It a Whirl lately, and I had to put some little hearts on the outside and on the inside of this card. And there they are right there, that tiny little heart. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up this and pull out this embossing folder because I'm going to be using that first thing. And it's called the Leaf Fall 3D embossing folder. I think they could have come up with a better name, but it's a pretty cool folder. I love that it just has a spattering. It's not the entire piece. So that's always fun. Let's get this part out of the way. We're going to emboss it onto a piece of Sahara sand, which is the base of our card. And we're also going to emboss it on the corner of our inner piece, which is our pear pizzazz. So when I first decided to put it in here, I decided I wanted a little bit of space at the top in the corner. So I placed it about right there, and we're going to go ahead and crank that through. So let me get my machine out. I'm going to use the big guy. We're going to use plate number 1, and then when you use a 3D embossing folder, you place it and then you put plate number 4. So we'll put that one on top and we'll crank it through, and then we're going to do this one more time. So we'll get this guy out. So pretty. And then I only wanted a very small amount of leaves in that corner. So I basically just put this piece in the corner here, about right there. And we're going to place this down. I'm actually going to put it this way. I'm going to put my embossing folder right about there so that we only get that one spot. And when we pull that out, we have this really cool leaf pattern just in that top corner. All right, so now we're done with this Leaf Fall 3D embossing folder, which I think, like I said, could have had a better name, but it doesn't. Sometimes I'm quite silly. All right, let's get this big guy out of the way, and then we can move on. Gotta close him. Since the new year began, excuse me, I'm gonna drink a little water. Since the new year began, I have been kind of changing up the schedule a little bit. I used to have a name for every day, and I changed kind of how I'm doing things on the blog this year. I wanted to have more time because I wanted to start classes to go. So for those of you who don't know, I do classes to go. So I usually have them advertised the first week of the month. You have till about the 10th to sign up, sometimes sooner, just depends. And then I prep them, and then they're ready to mail out usually around the 25th or 26th of the month. I mailed out this month's to the people that signed up. So if you want to get in on February's, be on the lookout. I'll put a video out on YouTube showing you what will be in the class. And I hope that you'll join me this month. Well, next month. I apologize. It's almost February though. All right, so let's go ahead and get these guys going. So what we're gonna do with the two pieces that we did that beautiful embossing on, we're gonna use some ink on there to kind of get it a little bit more pronounced. So I'm using some sponge daubers. I have a whole set of them. I little by little bought them and labeled them with the name. I wanted to use Old Olive on here, even though this was Pear Pizzazz paper. I just wanted it to be a little darker. And so for the inside here, I've used this punch. The cool thing about this very best trio punch is that you have 3 different pieces, and we're going to use all of them on this card. And so I'm going to take this, and if you punch it from this direction, you're going to get this rounded part, which is what I wanted here. I'll bring it up to the camera so you guys can see. See that rounded part right there? That's what I wanted. So we're going to go ahead and slide this into the guides. Punch. And I'm not going to rotate it like this because I want it to actually be in the same direction. So I'm flipping my card over. And then I am getting this corner, and then I will flip my card over one more time, back to the front. And there are my 4 corners, really cute. And then in the bottom are the little pieces, so trash for that. Let's move this out of the way. So now we have both of our pieces ready. I'm gonna grab my Old Olive ink pad. And we're gonna go ahead and put our little dauber in there. And I'm just gonna lightly go over. You don't need much ink for this. You just wanna use a very light touch. You just want them to pop out and kind of pop off of the cardstock. So just run your little dauber just like that. Let's do the same thing with the Sahara sand, just a larger surface. All right, I think we got them. Looks pretty cool. I like that they're just a little bit more pronounced. I just want to make sure that I got them right. I'll bring it up to the camera for you guys to see. All right. Our main card piece is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to grab my bone folder, and we are going to fold. Well, goodness gracious, if I can bring it over here. So we're going to fold it in half and burnish on that score mark. I have made quite the mess with my mat, haven't I? I feel like I'm like crooked and everything, and I'm probably not, but I feel like I am. There we go. That's not too bad. All right. So we do have, this is our base, and we're going to glue our Sahara piece right here over the top, which is another reason that I wanted to add a little bit of color in the Sahara. same reason. So we're gonna grab our adhesive here. I have my silicone mat because if you know me, I make a mess. And this kind of contains it. I'm more careful, I think, when I have the mat in front of me. All right. So we're gonna pick this up. And this part that has no leaves is the left top and the part on the bottom right. And we're gonna go ahead and attach it on. Now this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And our main piece was 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. And my inside piece that I did the corner, I used that corner punch on, was also 4 inches by 5 1/4 of Pear Pizzazz. And these are Sahara sand. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push those into place. And we're gonna use some DSP. And this DSP is from a set that has the little teddy bear. I don't know if you guys remember that set. I used it for a customer card. I'm not sure if I used it for any YouTube cards. But the paper is called Happy Forest Friends. And so there's all different foresty pieces. See, there's trees. That's what I use for one. Mushrooms. There's a whole scene here. You have the wood. Here's one of the backgrounds that we're going to use. You have this really cool check and some more little creatures. It's a great little paper pack. So I hope that you like it, and use this one as well. So I have, this is the paper I decided to use. I just thought it fit the little owls very well. Happy Forest Friends is the name of it. If you are looking to get some, I will link it in the description below, so you don't have to go digging too far. And if you don't mind using my host code of the month, that would be fantastic. Okay, so we have 2 pieces of DSP. The larger piece, which is the green one, I'm laying them on top so you can see, is 4 inches by 2 1/2 inches. And the smaller piece, which is the trees, is 3 3/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. We also have one more piece of cardstock, and it's just a 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inches of Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to use that for the words. So let's, oh, and I have a scrap paper, I don't know the size of this, for my my owl. So let's go ahead and finish all the stamping and get that out of the way. We're going to use our Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad for our owl. So I'm going to go ahead and just ink him up. Stamp him onto this little scrap of basic white. Look how cute he is. Oh, love him. Put him to the side for right now. He's going to be colored in with Stampin' Blends. I want to prep all my things first. Let's clean. We're going to stamp our words that say, I love your kind heart. And I think that's such a beautiful sentiment. Just really loved it. And so that's what we're using today. We're putting it on this little 1/2 inch strip. I love your kind heart. I don't know about you, but I love surrounding myself with kind people. They touch my heart. And then on the inside, we're stamping Sure Do Love You with the same ink. So let's clean this one and get out of the way. I'll bring the other stamp out. And that will be all the stamping, but we still will have paper and things to still work on. So this one says, Sure Do Love You, and I better clean that off because I wiggled it around and got a lot of ink onto the rubber that doesn't need any ink. And I don't want to accidentally mess it up when I stamp it. Sure Do Love You. Oh, so cute. All right, let's clean our stamp. That's it for stamping. Let's get our paper prepped for our card. So this piece is ready to go inside. We can go ahead and attach that. So let's go ahead and do that and get that out of the way. I have my water bottle next to me because I seem to always be parched because I talk so much. I'm okay with admitting that, but I mean, if I didn't talk, you wouldn't know what to do. I have to talk to teach you, right? All right, so let's pick this one up. Make sure it's not upside down and open our card here. Trust me, I've glued stuff inside upside down before. Real life crafting, that's all we have on my channel. The good thing is when I make mistakes, at least I have a way to teach you how to fix them. If I never made mistakes, then you wouldn't know what to do, right? when something happens and you got to find a way to just make it better, right? All right. So on the inside, we're going to put 2 of these little hearts, and I have cut 3 of them out of this really cool designer series paper just from scraps. And the same with these pieces here. They're just scraps. I don't have measurements for them. I just had little scrap pieces, and that's what we're using. So I'm going to take 2 of these little hearts and flip them over. One's already over for me, so I'll keep that one. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue. I think I got a little happy. This heart's kind of small. I'm going to grab my tweezer. You guys know I love to use my tweezers. And then I'll show you inside how I did the heart. I've kind of laid one in each direction. Put it up here for you guys to see. And we're going to do that again, same. One way, one the other. Hopefully it doesn't ooze too much glue because I put way too much on this one. I'm just going to lightly tap it into place so it doesn't ooze. All right, so there's our other one. Let's put that to the side again, and let's work on our front pieces. So it looks like these 2 pieces here, I have bannered the ends right here. So let's do that. I'm going to grab my paper snips, and I'm going to come in from the side here. I'm going to do a cut right down the center, and then I'm going to bring my scissor to meet that cut, okay? That gets rid of one, and here's the other one. I think I need to go in a little bit more. There we go. I kind of want it to not be quite pointy, a little bit more shallow. So I just want to make sure that I get it all the way in. There we go. So there's one. Let's do the other one. I'll do this side with the white. Come in here. And we'll shallow that one. And that one. Okay, those are ready. Let's get rid of this. We're going to do the same thing to our pear pizzazz piece, as you can see here. I'm going to come in from the side. I'm going to come in from the other side. And there's that one. So we're getting all our pieces nice and prepped. All right, we have to color our owl, and then as you can see, this piece is left just how it is. So it's just gonna get attached right over the top here. I don't know what I just touched on there. There we go, I got it out. So this piece is just gonna go laid right on top, and then this one needs to be cut, and you can see that it has been tag cut. Well, this punch has a tag, but it's quite deep. So what I'm going to do is I don't want it to be quite as deep. So I'm going to grab a scrap paper here. And I'm going to temporarily adhere my tag, or my paper, my DSP, to it. And you see how I've come down a little bit? And I want about the same distance on both sides. So I'm going to grab my little guillotine cutter, and I'm going to try and eyeball that. I'm going to leave it a little big, and I can always cut a little off and a little off at a time, but if I cut too much, I can't glue it back. All right, so that looks about the same on both sides. So I'm gonna take that piece that I've attached my paper onto, and I'm gonna slide it in and see how it cut a much larger on that piece, but I've stepped it back so it cut a lot less. We're gonna slide it in from this direction this time. And there, when we lift this off the paper, you see how big it is, but on this one, how small it is, because I brought it down. Isn't that neat? So just a little tip for you. So it does cut off quite a large chunk, but if you want to cut off less, you're going to slide back your paper, and then it will just take off a little bit. All right, let's move on to the next. The next part, this same punch also has one of these little pieces right here. And so what you want to do is you want to slide it in, and you want to, I like doing it upside down. And I actually have to pick it up because I can't see because of the way the camera's angled. I have to hold it and just kind of look and make sure that I have the same amount sticking out on both sides. I'm going to lay it down for you guys to see. Hopefully you can see my finger's not in the way. The same amount sticking out of the punch on both sides. And when I'm happy with that, I'm going to just hold it tightly. Hope I don't wiggle it. I probably just need to start over. Sorry, guys. Let's try one more time. I'm going to stand up so I can look through the camera and do it that way. It'll be easier, and we can all see at the same time. My fingers won't be in your way. Okay. So you see how we now have the same amount showing on both sides of the punch. You can also put a dot there with your paper or a line and find your center. It doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. Not to me anyway. If it matters to you, then definitely measure. It does not matter to me. But there's that one. So now all of our pieces are ready except for our owl. So let's go ahead and color. So for the owl, I'm going to grab my scrap paper here, put him on top of it. We're going to start with Daffodil Delight, and it's the light Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do the beak and his little feet. Okay, that's it for that color. Now, we're going to be using Cajun Craze, light and dark. And then this is the medium blends that are from the Natural Tones. So it's 600 and 500 if you already own all of them. And 600, the higher the number, the lighter it is. So 600 is lighter than 500. But we're going to start with the Cajun Craze. We're also using Old Olive Light and Dark. So I'll just put them over here to the side. We're going to start with the Cajun Craze. I'm going to start with the dark. And we are going to outline the top of our little bird. And I hope that you've watched my video, Monday's video, on how to color and shade these little guys, because that's important. So there's that. Now we're also going to do this apron. I like to call it the apron, but we definitely like to do this part. And we're going to highlight, excuse me, also under his neck. And this is with the dark Cajun Craze. So now I'm going to switch to the light Cajun Craze. And with the light Cajun Craze, I am going to color in and pull that color that I just drew down there. I'm going to draw that color down into the area that does not have any color, where it's white, where you can see the background is what I mean. Sorry guys, I'm trying to clean up my side area here so I have all of the tools that I need. I kind of have a mess next to me. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna pull that over. So we're gonna take the light and we're gonna drag that darker color down and into, or up and into, but we're gonna grab that dark color. We're not just gonna let it sit there and color next to it. We're gonna actually color over it and pull it towards that white section. I'm gonna do the same thing down here. We're gonna grab that color, blend it in. Gonna grab the other side and blend it in. There we go. So on to our medium Stampin' Blends from the Natural Tones. So 600 is our lighter color. We're gonna start with 500, which is the darker. We're gonna outline around the face here, around the eyes, down around the bottom of the face, and around here. And we're gonna go around the beak, just like that. Now we're not gonna go around the inner eye section, just that section. Then for the wings, we're gonna come around like that, come down, and we're gonna do the other side, just like that. And then I'm gonna color the inner ear, just like that. And then we're gonna take the lighter color, and we're gonna blend that in. So I'm gonna go over the top and draw it out. I'm gonna be careful when I get around the eye area. I don't wanna go in where it doesn't need any color. And I'm gonna still pull and blend that color, just like you see me doing. I went a little bit over that yellow, but I'm going to show you how to fix that. Even though it is a darker color, you can still blend that yellow right over the top and pull that color out so that the yellow is the dominant color. It'll dry lighter. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did here. We're going to pull that color from the wings down, give us that shading that we're looking for. And then I'm going to go over this line here and also pull that wing color down. All right, I'm going to bring my color lifter, and I want a little out of the line here, so I'm going to fix that. Sometimes I get excited when I'm blending, and so I like to use my color lifter. I just push that color and push it right back in to where it belongs. Just by lightly pushing the color. You got to have a lot of patience. You can't get in a hurry, because then you'll push too much color, too much of the clear color in, and it'll lighten your piece way too much. So you just need to be patient and let the color find its way in. Perfect. All right, let's work on the eye. So the eyes are going to be green, so I'm using Old Olive. The eyes, I do the opposite. I color the light first, and I'm going to add that to the whole eye except for that round circle at the top. And then I'm going to grab the dark, and I'm just going to do the bottom section of the eye in the dark. About halfway, just like that. And then that will give it a little bit of contrast. So there's my little owl. I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut him out so he'll be ready. We'll start up here at this ear. He's pretty easy to cut out even though we don't have dies for him. I think we get spoiled with the dies. Sometimes I can fussy cut faster than I can die cut though, so I don't mind fussy cutting. It just takes time to learn what you're doing and how to move your paper, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. And really and truly, this little owl is very simple to cut. The hardest part of these little feet here on the side, but the rest of them is like basically a circle that's a little bit wonky. Go around here, and we're gonna go in and out. And then the top of his head will be done. All right, there's our owl. So now we have all our parts and pieces ready. This is why I like to prep this way and get everything done at the same time. So now we're going to adhere this layer down onto our card. I'm going to grab my silicone mat again and my wet glue. And make sure we get nice around to the edges so that it adheres pretty well. We're going to place this piece on the side here, just like that. I love this color. All right, let's work on our ribbon on our tag, because that's going to be the next part. So we want to have that ready in place, then we can glue all our other parts on. So we're going to start with the little hole we made here, and we're going to take 2 ribbons. One is the Old Olive and Sahara Sand Twill ribbon pack, and this is what it looks like. It's 158955, and I'm out of the Sahara in this particular one. I have another one of them, but I wanted to use that. And then I'm using the Sweet Sorbet from the 2022-2024 Baker's Twine. So we're going to start with this piece. I didn't measure this, so let's do that now while I have it. 6 inches. And probably about 8 inches if I had to guess of this. Yeah. So that's 6. Yeah, about 8 inches of the twine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our piece, we're going to bring this in, and this is way too long. You don't even need 6 inches. 4 inches is more than enough. Don't waste your ribbon, people. 4 inches is plenty. Look at that, 2 inches of ribbon wasted. So what you want to do is I'm going to bring my silicone mat up here, and I'm going to grab my seal adhesive, and I'm going to put a little bit of seal, just like that, on top of my ribbon. And the reason that I'm doing that is I want the pieces to stick together to make it easier for me to tie the twine around it. So if you put that there, see how it sticks together like it's one unit, and then it won't come unflapped while you're trying to get this little piece wrapped around it and tied. So because twine is a little tricky, I like to make a knot with my twine. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pull this taut like that. And then I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to just hold it with my finger and bring this piece through and tie a knot. Once I have that knot on there, life is easy because I don't have to worry about it slipping out. I don't have to hold it tightly or anything. I just have to tie my bow, pull these through. I can get my loops as big as I want, and then I can just slowly pull on them. So we're going to start on this one. So I'm going to pull this first, and I'm going to hold on to it so it comes nice and straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to hold on to that one, and I'm going to pull the opposite. And you see how little I make them? I think they're so cute with these tiny little loops. So there's that. There's our tag. So this tag's going to be lifted up, so we need some dimensionals. Let's go ahead and put some on the back while we're working and thinking about it. So I'm going to put 6, and then I'm going to use some minis because I over-dimensionalize everything. So I'm going to put 3 in the middle. All right. Could actually move this one up a little. So there's my tag. It's ready to go. Dimensionals also go on my owl, so I'm going to flip that one over and put some dimensionals on the owl. I'll put another one maybe down here, and then some minis. I'm going to put 1 on each wing and 1 on the feet, I think. There we go. And maybe 1 up here for good measure. Now, my Love Your Kind Heart is going to get glued onto our tag, but part of it is going to be with dimensionals. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 dimensionals right there. The rest will get wet adhesive. And I think that these guys should have had a dimensional behind them. So right now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and try and get the back off. I have a hard time with that. But I'm going to put them behind here because they need it too. There's one. Let me get another one. And I just wasn't thinking when I did those. Let's put another one right here, because they're kind of half and half as well. And it just makes your card look a lot more even all the way across. So I don't mind that. Let me grab my Take Your Pick tool before I get these pieces stuck everywhere. I'll wait to put those on those until I stick it onto the actual card. So now that we have our pieces and parts, let's go ahead and attach our tag. So let's pull these backings. We'll do the 3 little ones first, and I'll throw those backings into the trash. Oops. I love using my Take Your Pick tool to take these backs off of them. All right. So here's our cute little ribbon. Oh my gosh, I love how this looks. I love this little tiny twine bow. So cute. All right, so now you can see where this one is. I'll move these guys out of the way. I'm gonna kind of lay it side by side to help me. Because, you know, why reinvent the wheel? We've already done it once. So about that much, and I'm gonna trim my piece. Bring the tag just slightly over to the right, a smidge. I want a lot of those leaves to show. And there is our tag. We'll trim those ends. Let me grab my ribbon scissor. It's a little too long. There we go. See what I mean? I totally cut way too much. 4 inches, guys, should be plenty for you. Don't waste that twine and cut too much. And then again, I have to trim these. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I have my ribbon scissors out. get rid of that. And let's put our words next. I love your kind heart. So we're gonna pull these backs off. Then we're gonna get some wet adhesive and we're gonna place it right here. And then we're going to attach our words. Make sure that I have my... Oh, I love this so much. So cute. Where's our baby heart? Let's put that on. Let me bring my silicone mat back out. Look at this cute tiny heart. Guys, if you don't have the Give It a Whirl dies, you need it. Because you need these cute hearts. They're so precious. I love hearts. I may be a little biased. Okay, I'm putting that right there. So cute. Okay. Now we're going to figure out how we're going to place these little guys. So let's put this one here. Maybe a little bit up, maybe right about there. And I want that to be kind of even with that side. And then I want this one to be shorter. Maybe I'll put this one on top. Maybe I'll put it like this time. Because I want this green to show, and this is all white on this side. So I think I'm gonna reverse them. This is what happens. We have to think on the fly, right? So I still want that piece to go all the way out. So I think we're gonna raise this just a little higher. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on this one, and I'm gonna attach these two together. So about, yeah, about that far apart. I'm gonna slide it down a little, maybe right about there. That looks good to me. All right, so now we have to figure out how we're gonna place it. So we're gonna go ahead and put a dimensional behind each of those. So let's put those at the very end near the tips. So one there and one on the other one, right near the end. Okay, let's pull the backs off of those. And then we're gonna put wet adhesive on the rest. Grab my tweezers. And I want it to be a little bit high, maybe right there. Yeah. What do you guys think? You like that? I think right underneath that piece is good. Let's glue those into place. Now comes our owl. So let's pull the backs off. So cute. All right, let's, oh, I don't know where should I make the owl go higher? No, I think I want him a little bit kind of off this time, like that. I love him so much. Precious. Final touch, I gotta find my embellishments. So we're using these 2022 to 2024 in color matte decorative dots, and all 5 in colors are on there. You can see that I've only used these. They're so cute. I don't want to use them up, and so I've been like kind of hoarding them, guys. Like, do you ever hoard your stuff? Like, hoard your supplies because you don't want to use them all up? Like, how silly is that? I could buy more. Don't mind me and my craziness. All right, let's grab our Take Your Pick tool. I wanted to use these, so we're gonna go with this. We're gonna do the large one in this color. We're gonna put it down here. And then we're gonna do a small one in, maybe I'll do another large one. I do like the baby ones though. I'm gonna do the baby ones. I get so worried I don't want to use them all. They needed to, like, I like that they did 3 and 3 because I always usually use 3s, but they need to give us more. That's not enough. I get worried that I'm not going to be able to use them all, and then I'll be so sad if I use them up. But I'm just gonna buy more. Okay, next week ask me if I've ordered more of these, because I'm gonna do it just so that I get over the fear. Somebody, either in the live on Tuesday of next week, ask me if I bought more of these. Somebody remember and ask me, because I shouldn't be afraid to use the stuff that I have, right? Oh my God, that's horrible. So there is our cute card. I hope that you enjoyed it. I absolutely love it. Killed it. Adorable owls. You can get that free. One happy family. Leaf. Fall. 3D embossing folder. I don't know what. That's such a weird name. This really cool Very Best Trio Punch. Don't ever forget about the Give It a Whirl dies, because they're amazing. We used 2 different kinds of ribbon. We used Stampin' Blends, lots of stuff, plenty of things to get you to the $50 level, right? So don't complain. I have helped you spend your money so that you can get the free adorable owls. Tune in tomorrow. It'll be the first time I do this, but I'm going to do Feature Friday, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do a video. I may do a video, just a real short one though, with the product. So let me know if you like it when you watch it. And now that I've said I'm doing it, I guess I'm doing it. You guys have an awesome day. I'm really happy to be here with you. As always, you guys make me so happy. And thanks for hanging out with me. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping.